unboxing video. Now I'm more dressed. You might have noticed the previous video didn't have audio. So we're going to fix that. Oh, now you can probably hear me. Hi, I'm the same guy from the last time. So I was talking about audio, you didn't see audio last time. And you'll notice that I'm dressed. That's because it's Sunday today. So we're going to sort of go over the things quickly, what we unboxed before, and just add a little comment here and there. And then we're going to unbox new things. So this is that projector that you saw, the Epson 3800, I think it's called. 3800, yes. So last time I was saying this is a really good brand. I really like this brand. They used to make good printers. I don't know what happened to them. But now they make good, home theater stuff. This is supposed to be, at least according to some of the Reddit views and some of the Amazon views, it's supposed to be pretty good. So that's all I want to say about that. Oh, and I was trying to tell you, last time, they have this sponge stuff here and a lens cap to prevent damage during movement. What I didn't like was that they didn't have this bubble wrapped. It was only a regular, this thing. If they had bubble wrapped it, I think I would have given like a perfect score for just packaging. Because the way they package stuff is very efficiently packaged. Anyway, moving on. This was that other thing that we unboxed. It was the Korg keyboard, the synthesizer. The EX Chrome. EX something. I think it was like EX88 or something like that. Because it was 88 keys. But we had some testing. And it's very, very good. So here's a pro tip. On the back of this, there's a thick, I think it's the 2.7-inch jacks at the back. And you might not have those lying around home. And then you might be thinking, oh, well, how do I connect this to a speaker? That uses a, 3.55 millimeter or 33.5 millimeter. How do I do that? Well, if you go on this side, there's a headphone jack, which uses a 33 millimeter. And then you can connect this to whatever speaker you're trying to connect to, including your computer. We'll get a demonstration of that in a while. Because it takes, and the only thing, not that I don't like about it, but this is just common to this kind of keyboard, which is, this is a touchscreen keyboard. It's fully computerized. Therefore, it takes a bit to warm up and start up. It takes a while to boot up. But if you can get past the boot up thing, it's actually pretty good. So we'll come back to that later. Right here. You have already seen us unbox this thing. But there was no audio, so you had no idea what I was saying while I was saying it. So I was saying I really like the Asus company. I have one of their graphics cards from AMD, the 5700, it's the RX 5700 XT, and it's one of the best graphics cards I've ever bought in my life. And I know some people are like, oh, well, if that's the best graphics card you ever saw, that you've never probably had the 3080 or the 3090 and your NVIDIA this, NVIDIA that. Okay, well, you guys can have your $2,000 graphics cards or whatever, but I love my $500 graphics card. All I'm saying is Asus is really good. This is a really good modem. I mean, not a modem, kind of modem. It's a router. We haven't installed it yet, but just the fact that it's made from Asus, I want to try it. And once we install this again, let me open it up so you remember what's inside. Yeah, I mentioned last time, it's supposed to be a square, but it's a very interesting design because it's a turned square. It's a square on top of square. Right? It's a square on top of a square. But it's like not exactly a square. So I thought that was a pretty interesting design choice. It has your regular, normal, here's the in, 4 outs, your DC connector. Yep. And then we also had the mesh. I had the same opinion. Asus is usually a good company, so that's that. So what are the new stuff that we're trying to... Well, actually not new, but because we didn't have the audio last time, I guess we can do the audio this time. So you might be thinking, oh, isn't that the same thing you opened last time? Well, yes, it is, and no, it isn't. Yes, it is in that it's the same object, but we ordered 2 of these. It's a wireless mic. You can see the one that we opened last time, which didn't have the audio. That's why you didn't have the audio, because I didn't open the mic. So now they have the mic open, right? Now we can have the audio to open up the other mic. And I was saying, this is a pretty good company. The Shure, I think, Shure. I think maybe they have a monopoly on mics. Yeah, it's boxed the same way as we saw last time. They have a bag for your mic. They had instruction books, the manual in the beginning, in the front. That's some advertisement stuff, limited warranty stuff. And then, yeah, you lift up this thing. Here's the actual box that carries the signal. And if you notice here, this mic thing, we put it on. And if you visit our website for the YouTube, we actually had our first sermon with this mic today, live, with audio, thanks to the unboxing of this and setting it up, etc., etc. So yeah, this is going to be set up over here for the piano, so that the piano person or whoever the lead singer is or whatever they do, they have a separate mic from the pastor. And of course, here's the same mic except with this system. So what you have to be careful of is, if you have two of these mics, you need to color code this. So we have one over there, the box, and then this one belongs to this. So we have to tape this with yellow, red, or blue, and then tape that box with yellow, red, or blue, and then tape this with a different color and tape that over here, the same color. That way you know which mic belongs to which box set. Okay, so that's that. More unboxing. This is called a Vivo projector mount because we have a projector now that needs to be mounted. And if a projector needs to be mounted, it needs a mount. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got the scissors. We already had the scissors unpacked. This church is prepared. Boom. Oh, wait. So it opens this way. Boom. All right. What comes in this mount? Obviously, the directions. Oh, and then mounting stuff. To be expected for a mount, right? More screws. Oh, here we go. This is what it's supposed to look like now. It has a pivot. That's pretty good. It's a bipivotal. I mean, now you can't. It's not really a pivot, but it's like you can direct the projector kind of pivot. And there's another one here. Circular. I wonder what that's for. So I guess maybe this is for like a ceiling, or maybe they need more movement. Maybe you can use this one. And the other one, maybe if you don't need as much movement and you just want it to be stable. In either case, once we finish setting it up, we'll show you how it goes. But there's more. You thought we were finished, but we're not. Bam, what is this? Oh, you go, oh, this box is already open. It is, but it wasn't by us. One of our other workers had to figure out if it was a box for them, so they had to open it to make sure. So it wasn't us, but it hasn't been unboxed yet. Technically, yes, but spiritually, no. The spirit of the box has been kept intact. How do we know? Because the manual is the first thing you see. Right? A thank you letter and a manual is the first thing you see. So we know it hasn't been touched. They were just trying to see what was inside. See if it was theirs or not. Oh, this is interesting. So if you see the way they packaged it, there's two boxes on the side. So let's take one of these out. Oh, okay. Oh, you guys already know what it is maybe. What can this be? It has this kind of a thing. Plug-in thing. Electric thing. Power source. Yes, that's what it's called. Power source. And It has a remote. And batteries. And this kind of adapter, a VGA adapter to maybe looks like some sort of a cable or MIDI or something. So some of you might already guess what this is right now. And others of you are completely confused. What kind of an item is this that needs a power source, connector, and a remote? Well, let me show you. Yeah. It is a PZT. It is a PZT camera. Yes. Yes. It is bigger. And it's better. Yes. And the only thing I'm, a little bit sad about is that it's not wrapped in bubble wrap. That's the only thing I'm sad about. But as you can see, it has LAN, HDMI, USB 3.0. Right, so there's these three. And then, here's that MIDI thing, the cable-looking thing. I think that's supposed to be some sort of an antenna or for, remote control. DC out and then switch. Yeah, we need this because when we try to focus, so let's say we're doing a sermon, so we need to focus over there, and then suddenly we need to see this person over here who's doing the piano. We can't keep swiveling the camera back and forth. But if we have a PZT camera and we program it, then we can just click a button and then it'll zoom there. Click another one, it'll zoom there. Back and forth. So we're going to carefully put this back. Okay. And there's more. Ha, you thought I was going to say that's it. But there's more. You can't have a PTZ camera without, this is by the same person who opened it. They were trying to see what it is. You can't have a PTZ camera. And some of you are saying, oh, I know what that is. Without a PTZ camera mount. You need this in order to have a PTZ camera. Why? Because the PTZ, well, at least we don't have technology to float this stuff in the air right now. It has to be mounted to something. So that's why we have that. You have your normal mount stuff. It's much simpler than the Vivo mount for the Optima, whatever, Epson, whatever that thing is. Okay. Well, okay, guys. There's more. We actually have 4 of these, but I'm just going to show you one. Because other people like opening boxes too. So I'm just going to open one, and then the people who like opening boxes, they can open the other 3. This is an HDMI splitter. You need this because it depends on what you're trying to do, but if you want to have something that you're switching with let's say a PowerPoint or something during the sermon, like the one we have over here, and you're trying to switch between cameras, then you need a splitter. In fact, you need about 4 or 5 splitters, depending on what you're trying to do, or even more. I've never heard this company before, Ore. So again, once we set everything up, we'll let you know how it works. All right. So it just looks like a regular splitter. And it says on 1080, it can go up to 60 frames. So hope that's right. This is just called HD 102. 2 outputs, 1 input, a DC for power source. Okay. Oh, and then there's a switch that says like copy or auto. I don't know what that's about, but who reads manuals anyway, right? Actually, I do. So I'll find out what that's about later. Pro tip from a pastor. If you want to do good sermons, you need to read a lot of manuals, because manuals try to tell people in the very simplest form what it's trying to communicate. So if you're good at explaining like manuals are, good, I mean, if you read bad manuals, then you know how bad some directions are. If you read good manuals, you go, oh, this was an easy setup. So that's how you want your sermons to be. Good, very to the point, kind of fun to assemble. Well, I guess we have one more though. And this is one of the things you need to be careful of, because not all HDMI cables are made the same. So if you're trying to have 60 frames on 1080p, if you're trying to have that, then you need a cable to match that quality of whatever signal you need. And because ours is going to be hooked up to the ceiling, you need a long one. So a lot of new mistake is, there's this one. I guess maybe they need this to extend the distance of like the HDMI. But some of these are like square blocks. So if you're trying to fit in through holes, you can't, because they're square blocks instead of these looking circular things. So when you try to get these, you have to make sure you're looking for this one. If you don't care about, so if you're trying to thread it, let's say through a hole. So you can't see it here, but over there, we have a hole set up over there, right? And over there, we have another hole. The holes are there so that we can run the lines through the floor. If you don't have this kind of a, HDMI cable, and you have the one with the square block, it's not going to fit through that hole. And then you thought it was 75 feet, but you can only use a half of that. What's half of 75? I don't know, 75 over 2, whatever that is. All right, guys. Now you know. And I hope you enjoyed this presentation, because there's one more. If you've ever used the PTZ camera before, you know what this is. For those of you who don't know what a PTZ camera is or have not used it before, you have to ask the logical question. If the PTZ camera is on a ceiling, how do you control it? How do you control something that's on a ceiling? Well, there's two ways. You can either hook it by a LAN line through a controller, or, so in other words, you can use a PC software to control those PTZ cameras, or you can do what real men do and get a controller. Here's the manual. Some kind of connector. Oh, I guess this is for like mounting or like bracing or stuff. It has this European looking plug, or, oh, I guess these are adapters so that anywhere from anybody over the world can use it. Interesting. Anyway, this is the power source or the power supply. Now, we're not here to play games. But if you look at this, you might think we are. But it's not to play games. This is actually a controller. And we got this from Amazon, so there were some good reviews on it. Once we set it up, once again, we'll review it as well. I don't know. I've never used a PTZ camera before in my life, so I have no idea what this is for. But it has like connectors at the back and blinking lights and things you can press, right? And things you can move around. We all love that kind of stuff, right? Woo, pressy, right? Press, move around, blinking lights, woo! And I guess once we hook this up to the PZT camera, we can program it. There's like focus plus, focus minus. Oh, and I think this is an LED display. But in any case, once we set it up, we'll bring it to you. And then we'll even review it. see what we think of it, and then do we recommend it? Do we not recommend it? So yeah, if you haven't noticed already, our channel is sort of like show other churches what it's like to start up your own ministry, and then see how you go from there. And in case you're wondering about how much all this cost, you could just look it up on Amazon and figure that out. Because if we told you, you might have some sort of a heart attack. Because it wasn't cheap. Oh! Okay. So I'm for real this time. Now it's time to go. I think that was like 7 items we had. And that was my alarm. Therefore, hope you guys stick around. And once we set all this up, we'll do a review. And then let you know if we recommend it or not recommend it. And then see how if there's like a better thing we should have bought or whatever. Bye.